Yeah, I'm a bit late today because I still needed to do some advertising here and there, and so it took me a bit to post everything. So I entertained you with some of the old pictures, screenshots of the old game, which is the current game, by the way. So you can play it if you want. So let's do a brief recap of what we were doing, right? We had a current mission. Yes, we did. And this current mission was to complete the compilation of Admin Manager. Admin Manager is one of the major classes, one of the most important classes that we have in the game, because it's the one responsible for let me show you. It's one for responsible for all the commands. Okay, so all the commands that are getting sent out from the console, so from the chat window basically, to the server, are going through Admin Manager. At least all the ones that are related to game masters. So for example, if you have to ban someone, if you have to mute someone, if you have to create a new NPC, if you have to set a new, of it to search some information on a player, on an object, if you want to destroy an item, create an NPC, reload an NPC, reload some quests. I mean, there is a bunch of stuff. You want to create a new key for a door, or you want to lock a chest. I mean, all those commands are all coming from Admin Manager, right? There are really a lot of those commands, and it's something that we didn't let's say we didn't port yet, but I started last week, I think at the end of last week, I think it was about 1 week ago, to port Admin Manager, and or probably beginning of the week, I don't remember, but it's been a long journey, I have to say. So I dedicated some time every evening to the porting. I didn't stream yesterday and the previous day in the evening, mainly because I thought it would be a pretty boring stream actually, because it was mainly code conversion. Hello Soup. Mainly code conversion, and I mean, code conversion is tough, you know, is basically me going through thousands of lines of code. Now I didn't finish unfortunately yet, but I'm very close. I'm very close to finish it, and so I said, okay, maybe we can just start streaming, so that you can see the progress, right? Okay. So the class. Well, no. Let me go back to the mission. So we have three missions. We have three missions. One mission is to have Admin Manager compile, and that is the first mission we have, and the first one we're gonna do. After we do that, we want to have this info command work on an item or player, and then we want to be able to spawn a new item in our inventory. All those two are game master commands, and in particular the third one we need it because it will make, let's say, testing crafting much easier. Okay, why I have this picture? Well, I have this picture because yeah, from a simple command like I want to spawn a new axe, which seems to be a pretty small task, you know. In reality, to enable this, we have to import Admin Manager fully, or anyway, I want to import Admin Manager fully, and which is the real body of the iceberg. And hello, hi Muhendis, how are you? So yeah, so this is what I'm gonna do, and I want to show you where I am. Well, first of all, Admin Manager is an insane class because Admin Manager is at the moment more than 13,000 lines, so it's nearly 13,400 lines. That is for the CPP, and the .h It's also pretty huge. So the .h is how much? 5,000 lines, so nearly 5,000 lines. So that's why it's pretty big. But the good news is that we have very few errors left. I had to do a lot of changes. For example, I had to change the PS world into the Unreal Engine world, which was referenced in many places, and now is properly, yeah, it's properly set. So we are going to go through the last few errors and see if we can complete it. Right? I hope we can complete. I hope we can complete our mission of compiling in the next maybe half an hour, maximum 1 hour. But I think it will be probably shorter than 1 hour, hopefully, depending on how much I speak. But anyway, so I'm basically going one by one through the errors now. There are some, if you see, there are some errors also on other classes, like this one is the NPC brain, so it's the one that is maintaining all the memory and all the perceptions of our NPC. And this one got some errors because I did some changes, as I was telling you, for example, on the U world, on the Unreal world that I'm using now. So let me check this line. So this line, we just have an issue with this piece, which is the one considering the sectors. So what we want to do, we want to comment it out just as a reminder, because we want to remind ourselves that we will need to have sectors back one day. And for now, we just compare the two positions without the sectors, and we get the sides of the vector. So that's enough to complete what we are gonna do. The same here. The same here. I think a lot of the errors will be exactly identical to each other. So it will be. I think the remaining errors are easy to fix anyway. There's nothing huge. Okay, so as you see, we have 7 errors left. Now this number can go up and down very quickly because it's the 7 errors that we have at the moment, which doesn't mean that are all the errors that we have, right? So let me check. There are a few problems here because probably this command is an F string. I think so. Command, yes, is an F string, so yes to be escaped. Okay, let's recompile it and see. And I hope we can start to reuse again the Unreal Editor today, because we will have to connect those commands from the console, from the chat, to the server side. Non-standard conversion, what does it mean? Non-standard extension used, initialization conversion from TRA publish destination to TRA publish destination, and okay, doesn't like it for whatever reason. Why we have this end here? No idea. Is this get multicast client should already return exactly the same TRA destination? I think so. Yeah, in fact, it went away. This error, what is it? GM spawn item message to. We are getting an integer, I guess an F string, and another integer, so it should be okay. An integer, an F string, and another integer. Well, actually, it's in science. Cannot convert argument 2 from F string to const char. Maybe we have a double definition of this. I have the feeling we have a double definition of this element, because it's strange that it's saying, let me see, 24, 23. No? Why doesn't like it? Let me do a search maybe on current project for the definition of this class, because I have the feeling it's redefined twice. If it's not, then maybe, no, it's not. Message type, because there is an F string for sure. Okay. So the parameter number 2 is an F string, right? And for some reason it's saying that it needs to convert it to const char pointer. Let me see the definition of this message. Everything is an F string, so what is this problem? I don't get it. I mean, I can change also this one to F string if that's an issue. I can change this one as well, but we are in the constructor with a single object, so I'm a bit surprised. I mean, here our constructor has 3 parameters, and the one with the 3 parameters actually has an F string as a second parameter. So, by the way, we are live also on Twitch. We are live on YouTube and Twitch. So I don't know if you care about that, but anyway, we are. So if you want to follow on Twitch, you can. I'm streaming. Let's say, with a service called restream.io, which seems to work pretty well. So. Okay, it's compiling. It's doing something. Maybe we squashed all the bugs. I don't know. I think there would be still a few check VA arguments. I'm pretty sure there would be. Yes, a few check VA. The check VA are fine though. Very easy to fix. So it seems that we are close. We are close to the solution. Let's see. Get PID, IP address. We cannot. Okay, so we need to unbox this. Otherwise, we will not be able to convert it to an int. Okay, it's fine. Then what else? Same here. Same error. Then we have a dynamic cast. I think I removed all the dynamic cast, but probably not. Initializing cannot convert. Admin manager. So it's saying on this line it cannot convert to an integer. Okay, item get location in parents. Let me say inventory slot. Maybe there is an inventory slot. Yes, okay, so in this case we have to cast it explicitly to integer to okay, let's compile it again. I think we are squashing the last few bugs. If you want to know the Twitch channel, I can paste it. Let me just see where you are. Not here. Not here. I have too many windows. I think I have the feeling I need 3 monitors because 2 is not enough. By the way, I can see the chat of both channels because this service, which is called restream.io, it also gives you the possibility to yeah, there is the link. It also gives you the possibility to have a single chat between the 2 channels, which is pretty good. Okay, we still have a few of this check VA, but it's pretty easy to fix, so it should not be a problem. We still have a dynamic cast. Why we have a dynamic cast? Common data. Okay, because we are assuming that this one may be or may not be common admin data. We do the same for all of those. You see, we have dynamic cast everywhere. For some we have dynamic cast, for others we have static cast. I think I would like to keep it as a static cast because dynamic cast has some implications on the way you compile, and I know the static cast has the drawback of crashing at compile at runtime if something is not working, like if you have a parameter of another. But I think we will fix that. So I will probably refactor the code somehow to be different, so we don't have to do the dynamic cast at all. So all these are unboxed, and also this one is unboxed. I think it's everywhere. This thing of unbox is everywhere. Okay, let me recompile. Yeah, unfortunately, the fact that I was streaming was not advertised on our events page. I just put it in now, so I'm assuming not many people will join, but it's okay. That's fine. They will see that we are live, and they will slowly. Is map an F string? Yes, it is. They will slowly join, so in the next hour or so, we'll have more people joining in, I think. Sector name, I think this one is also an F string, so yeah. And when we go to the check VA, it's pretty good because it means that we are at the end of the errors. One left. Maybe one left. Even if it's a bit weird, sometimes the errors are coming out one by one. I don't know exactly why. They are coming out one by one. Yeah, you see? Band reason, one of these is an F string, probably the first one. Yes, band reason is most likely an F string. Okay. Few more, but then we should be done. Map, destination map. You see, some is escaped, some other is not escaped. Just because when I did the porting, I forgot a few, but it's fine. How are you guys today? Is everything going good for you? And are you an Unreal Engine fan or developer, or what are you doing with Unreal? I'm interested to know if the people watching are. So this one, yes, is for sure an F string. And if you are working on Unreal, what kind of projects you have? It's not very common to stream development. I think one of the reasons is that people keep, let's say, development a bit secret being under an NDA or anyway. You don't want to disclose too much of their code base and what they are doing, because most people working in Unreal are working on commercial games. We are not working on commercial games. We are just working on, for fun, as a hobby, and so we don't have a big pressure on this kind of security rules. By the way, we still have to decide the final licensing mechanism. I mean, are we going to be fully open or not fully open? I mean, reusable, not reusable? I didn't decide yet. For now, all our source file have just a copyright at the top, meaning that you cannot reuse these files. They are covered by the PlaneShift license. PlaneShift license is basically saying you cannot use, you can only use it for personal use, let's say. So you cannot, yeah, you cannot make another MMO out of it and sell it. Not that someone would like to, but maybe, just as a possibility. Yeah, there are quite a number. But it's normal. We are speaking about, again, 13,000 lines. So I was not expecting to fix it immediately, you know. I was expecting this to be a journey, but we are already at line 11,000, so we are pretty much at the end of the file. Well, we missed 2,000 lines, but so there are still some errors, but it should not be too many. Get name, get position. Yes, the first one is for sure an F string. Do you see any benefit of streaming on Twitch as well, or not? Because I mean, for me, it's not a cost. It's not a problem. I just enable it, and it streams at the same time in two places. So it's not a problem for bandwidth or anything. So I just go out with the same bandwidth, and then this restream service is sending it to multiple places. So but it seems there is not really a community, you know, for developers. At least I didn't find it. So at the moment, it's more. I mean, it's very few people streaming development here and there on YouTube, on Twitch, but they are not very consistent because, like myself as well, because you don't get, let's say, money out of the streaming unless you are really streaming continuously. And streaming continuously sometimes is not possible because, again, in game development there are also some very boring parts and some very fun parts as well, but you cannot stream all the time. I think there are times where you really need to focus on, you know, finding a solution or trial and error and such, or you have some monkey work to do. You see, we were at 0 errors and now we are back at 25. Why we are back at 25? Because this is another pass, right? It's another pass of the compiler on our source code, and this should be an easy one though. It's just saying that there is an assignment within a conditional expression and it doesn't like it, and I kind of agree. I think is a very bad idea to do this. So even if this is a boolean, and so we are assuming that at the end the result is the value of the boolean, is a bad practice. So we should take this out, you know, of the if, and then just check for the variable found, and so it's a bit cleaner, because we don't want to test that we are assigning, because the assignment is always valid, I would say, but we want to test the actual value of this variable. And I think there would be many like this. Yes, I think all the code in this area is done like this, but it's easy to fix. SA is basically everywhere. There is a bunch of functions that are exactly the same. Well, we can fix this super easy and super quick. Basically, every command has a specialized class, and this specialized class is taking care of parsing the parameters and then executing the command. So just a second. Advertising on the mobile phone. People trying to sell me something on the mobile, but I'm not gonna buy it. Okay. Yeah, there is one for each command, so there are like 20 or so, all exactly the same that we have to fix. It's a very easy fix anyway, so no problem. Wow, so many boys. I have no issue in doing this fix anyway, so it's a kind of a relaxing exercise, you know, compared to maybe cranking out some complex stuff. It's just fixing the line, all these lines in the same exact way. So bringing the assignment out of the conditional expression, and then passing the variable in the conditional expression. So pretty easy. Okay, should be the last one. At least it looks like is the last one. Okay. We still have a few. There are some not initialized variables. GM sector of game master issued in the command. If sector is different than not, yeah, this cannot work. Let me check the original file and how this was done. So GM sector, okay, was assigned here. Why we didn't okay, I think we can, for now, Just assign it to 0. As you know, we are not using sectors. And so we can probably just do something like that. Assign it to 0 for now, and then we will see later on. Sector. Let me check this one. This one is a bit deep. No, I think it's the same. It's exactly the same. Yes, sec was 0 as well. So we can assign it to 0 for now, and we will then see if we will use sectors again or not. I think we are very close now. Very, very close. There's someone speaking to me about putting some cryptocurrency in PS. Actually, this is something that I discussed already a long time ago with some other guys. They were interested in putting cryptocurrency. So as a way to pay for, I don't know, services or pay for anything in the game. Actually, I'm not really a fan of cryptocurrencies. I don't know exactly why, because I don't have a solid background, let's say, to back up this statement, but I've seen, let's say, in the past years that cryptocurrency has become popular, but at the same time, it feels still very unreliable. So if you search for if you search the web, you find out that there has been many cases or some cases in which even big banks. I remember one Asian bank that lost billions of cryptocurrencies because they, for whatever reason, the blockchain didn't work as expected, and they didn't know exactly where that money went. So, just kind of a bit scary, you know. Unresolved external symbol admin manager. Okay, so he's saying that we are missing this admin manager. Okay, admin manager, I think we declared it in PS Unreal, right? Yes, we did. And then we have to be sure that we declare it inside admin manager here in the beginning. So this is what we are missing. Yeah, that's what we're missing. Okay, so we declare one. So this will be our global variable. Also, there are few others missing, like for example, set. No, path set is displaying. Okay. In PS character. Let me see if I find it. Path set. Current document. Path set is displaying. There it is. This one actually is not implemented. Okay. Let me go and see why. Whenever you see a white background is the old code. Okay, so this is the old code of the current plane shift game. And whenever you see a black background like this is the Unreal Engine code that has been ported. Okay, so that's the difference. And sometimes I have to switch between one and the other because I'm trying to understand how the old code was doing something. I think for now all this function has been left empty, and I would do the same. I don't want to mess with this now. We are missing this. We are missing this. We are missing hide waypoints. Redisplay all. So we're missing a few actually. Hide waypoints. I don't see it. Okay. Hide waypoints. It's not here, so it's probably not in PS character. Ah, okay, yes, it's in admin manager. Fine. There it is. We have this, wow, more than one. We have 5 functions, 6 functions, 7 functions, 8 functions. All of those are not implemented. Did I copy those in the right place? Because I have the feeling that hide all paths. For example, let's take one of those, okay? Let's take one of those. I would just want to understand if I place them in the right class. Hide all paths. Yes, it's an admin manager. Yeah, it is. So why is not implemented? I'm a bit confused about that. Why admin manager.cpp? This is not a good example because it's no. Let's take another one. Let's take hide waypoints. The one that is missing. Yeah, it's here anyway. Hide waypoints. Why is not implemented? Hide waypoints. It should be here in the middle. Maybe I just didn't change the. I understand the problem. I just didn't change the signature. I think the signature in the CPP is still using client. It's probably still using clients. No, there is an empty and missing closing quotes. That's why. Missing closing of the, yeah. Why? I missed all this. No idea why I missed all of that. These ones I commented out completely because the waypoints are done anyway in a completely different way at the moment, and I don't want to spend time to actually look for this. So to me it's okay. We will probably spend one session just working on waypoints again and ensuring that we can see the waypoint on the client side, but it's fine. If there is an error, it should be, yes, it should be APS character and not client. By the way, if you want to subscribe to the channel and know when I'm live, if you subscribe, you will get a notification when I'm live, so you can see. Yeah, you can join and watch the stream. Wow, one succeeded, really? Holy moly! Okay. Okay, so I guess our compilation succeeded. Now, it's not yet 100% done in the sense that we need to be sure that this thing can start actually. And to see if it can start, we will remove this DLL and we'll have Unreal Engine compile the class, and we will see if we get any additional errors, because sometimes the Unreal Engine compilation may give some additional errors. This one. I think just because is using some parameters for compilation that are a bit more strict than the standard Visual Studio. Let's see. It will take a bit because we did so many changes. We changed the majority of the header files, and we changed a lot of classes and names. So there are a lot of dependencies. So I think he has to clean up basically all the PDB, all the debug files, and redo it from scratch. So it may take, I don't know, 1 minute or something. It may definitely take some time. Ouch. What happened? So I was typing another screen, and then compilation completed. Let me see. Did we get any errors? Yes, because the server didn't start, right? So for sure we got errors. For sure. Let me see which kind of errors we got in the compilation. These two, okay. So action manager cache action location must return a value. Okay, fine. So if we go under action manager, action manager is actually here because we. Okay, yeah, it's a boolean, is correct. So we should have him return true. Remember that everything that is in this file, which is gem.h, is a dummy. Is a dummy container, right? So we are putting here all the functions that we didn't yet port, but we will port in the future. And then PS sector info get weather enabled. I think it's exactly the same place. Also this one is a boolean, so also this one should return true. And yeah, I think that's okay for now. So let's try again. May compile now. Okay, we will have to get rid also of all this hide previous local declaration or hide class member. So if anyone has some time and wants to help me, you could get the SVN if you have obviously some C or C++ knowledge. Could take the current SVN and start to fix all those small warnings. I think we would like to get those warnings to 0 because they may sometimes hide some potential bugs, right? So I think they are warnings, but still are very bad practice, or better are showing that we have a bad practice in the code. We are writing some part of the code not in the right way. So yeah, but there are hundreds, so it takes quite some time to do this. So if any of you has the willingness to do it, you see all these errors now. Well, all these warnings like hides class member, hides class member. It just means that the parameter that is coming in the method is the same as, or he has the same name as another parameter that is set on the class. And so the compiler by default chooses the one inside the method, but it's just saying that it may be potentially source of confusion, right? Because then in the method you don't know if you're referencing the one that is in the signature of the method, or if it's the class member. Okay, it started, which is very nice. It actually started. Okay, so our admin manager is actually compiled. Let me just check that I can connect with the client, so we didn't break anything, and then maybe we can do our check-in. We can check it in Subversion. Obviously, it doesn't mean that admin manager is working now. Okay, so it just means that it compiles, and at least the syntax is reasonably good, but doesn't mean that those functions are actually working. So we will have to go through each of those functions and test them out. So that's the majority of the work then. But having it compiled is a big achievement. I'm very happy about that. Very happy about that. Okay, we are in. Yeah, it seems to work fine. Now, I don't know if I need to do any tests. I mean, I don't think that admin manager is breaking anything, right? I don't think it's breaking any part of the code. So, I mean, we can just try to drop something and pick it up and see if we can still, yeah. But I think that there is no impact on the existing code, like the ability to speak to an NPC, or there should be no impact. Well, we have another icon. No. Okay. Everything seems to be fine. So this window is not with the right Z order. I cannot click it, but okay, it's fine. We'll fix it later. Okay, good. So yeah, I think we can say that we completed our mission, at least the one for the compilation, right? Very happy about it. 30,000 lines of code plus 4,000 in the H file, so 18,000 lines successfully ported. at least from the compilation point of view. So very good, very good. We can definitely be happy about that. And I would say we can do a check-in. We can do a check-in and see some other people are compiling what we get in SVN. So we will see if anyone finds any problems. So yeah, let's check it in. And then we will move on with the second mission that we have, which now is much more within our reach. So let me commit. Is commit or commit? I think it's commit, right? Wow. We basically touch every single file, yeah. We touched. Look at that. We touch like every single file in the project. I think yes, everything that is a C++ or H file, we should submit. The description of the change is that we basically added admin manager. So I would say added admin manager, which is responsible for all GM commands, right? Like /item, /ban, / I don't know, whatever, /info, etc. Right? And is responsible of, I don't know, dozens of those commands. I don't know how many we have, but we have a lot, like 30, 40. So we also did some other things. We replaced PS World with UWorld in many of the declarations. And let me see what else we did, because I have the feeling I did more than this. Yes, then we added a bunch of functions that were originally in Gemactor. We added really a lot of them. Okay, I don't know exactly about this one, but I think in PS item, yeah, we added a bunch of function in. So added many functions to PS item and PS character, which were in gem item or gem actor or gem npc. I mean, they were scattered everywhere now. I don't remember. I mean, I cannot list them all, but if you look at PS character here, you see all these additional functions like get bed text, move to a valid position, and all these ones, right? IP address, and yeah, all the IP address ones we have to. Wow, that's a lot of functions that we added. I think that's all. That's all we did. We also added some new messages. Yes, we defined few new things like the petition information, like this GM spawn item, but I don't know, we can also avoid mentioning that. Okay, nice. I think that this is the majority of the change. Let me check. Yes, this is the PS world versus U world, so it should be fine. Yeah, we also fixed many of the distance. Maybe this one I can mention. Replaced word distance function or what distance calls to with vector distance calculation. Doesn't include sectors for now, obviously, but because we don't have sectors at the moment, but I think it's fine. We'll see. Okay, I think that's all. We can check it in. Anything else left? No, these files are not really needed. And I think everything else is fine. Good. Wow, we added 140k of source code. 140k of source code, which is pretty amazing. The biggest class being admin manager. Okay, nice. So now that our first mission is done, we can go on with the second mission. So we can flag this one as done. Pretty amazed about this. And we can go on with the second one. Just a second. Okay, I'm back. So the second one is to have the info command work. It's pretty cool actually. Okay, so I think the info command is obviously inside admin manager, and I think the code for that I was a bit more careful, and I think it actually could work as it is. I think it's something like handle info something. No, handle. That would be interesting to find it out. Info. I think I will never find it. There are so many, you know. Was I in the right file? In the right file? Handle info is not something that is really here. So maybe it's item info or is get info. Maybe it's this get info. Yeah, I think it's this get info. I just excluded the part related to action locations because we are not gonna port action locations. So, but all the rest should already be okay. So this class, I mean, this method is returning. Yeah, it's sending a system message to the client. So this is the thing that is triggering it, right? So now, how do we call this method? That's the question. How do we call it? Do we call it from? So let me check first how it was called from in the old system. Okay. So in the old system, it was called by this function, which is called handle admin common message. Okay, so I think we can call this one. Now the point is, do we have this one? Yes, I think we do. There is the actual command that we pass in, and we get our client. Okay. I think it's fine. Let me just check if this class is called, if this method is called anywhere else. No. Let me do current project. You want to be sure that there is not another redirection to this method. It should not be. So it should be the top level. Okay, it is. It is the top level method that we have to call. So this one we want to call from our plane shift controller. And the question is, do I already have something like that or not? I don't think I do. So I think we should create a new method that we will see in the blueprints. And this one we can call request admin common message. Okay? Is a blueprint callable. Oops, what did I do? Is a blueprint callable No, not implementable events. This one, yeah, this one is a blueprint callable, and it will be under, I don't know, PS admin. Will be returning void because anyway we send out information from inside the method. And in terms of parameters, what we want to have only the commands. So it's pretty easy. We want to have only the command. So a string, which is the string that we get from the console, right? And I think that's pretty much it. Why is complaining about that? Okay, so this one we should implement. We should implement here, and is the one that we will call from the blueprints. It's similar to this. We want to have at least one log. Yes, we want to print out the log when we are going through this command so that we know we are executing it. We want our pawn exactly like here. Yes, and also we want to call our admin manager, which now finally we have, and we want to call handle. Now I don't know what it's doing, it's not responding, but it's fine. We want to call our handle admin message with our command and our pawn, and that's it. So we basically built with these two functions. So with this function we built the bridge between the blueprints and our server-side code, the one that we just ported, right? And yeah. So now let's wait that the compilation finishes for a second, and we will see. It should compile, and it should be fine. Admin manager, okay, we probably complain that we did an import. Yes, and he's right, because we need to import here admin manager, which we now have. Still compiling, but we know that we have to restart it anyway. Yes. And then it says cannot access protected member declared in class admin manager. Okay, handle admin is actually protected. We don't want this to be protected, we want this to be available because it's something that we will call directly. So let me move at least this one. They potentially will move also the others, but for now let's move only this one to the public side of the class, and let's recompile it. Okay, build succeeded. So actually it works. Now let me clean up the DLL so that we can have it also in the editor without hot reload. So I would just restart the editor now, the Unreal editor, and it will ask me to recompile because the DLL is missing. Okay, yes, we say yes, and we just wait this to be completed. And then when we are in the blueprints, I think what we want to do, we want to just check that whatever is that the player is typing in the chat is starting with a slash something, and if he's starting with a slash something, we are going to send it to the admin manager. Now the only point is, what if the player is sending out a command which is not an admin command. I don't know exactly how this was working in the past, but message type command admin. How can we know that is an actual admin command? How do we know it? How do we know is an admin command and is not a normal player command? Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find this in the old code. I want to understand if there was like a filtering upfront done by the client, or if there is another class somewhere that does this. Because I think we have message type admin command, but we also have message type like player command or generic command. I don't know how it's called. You see, it's down here, by the way. It's message type generic command. Okay, so this one is not found anywhere else. But you see, there is like user action, right? Because, for example, the command /who is a command that anyone can use, right? I'm just trying to see user command. There it is, user command. So user command subscribe. So it's doing a kind of a subscription. Command user is in the client side. Okay, so I think is subscribe. Let me see what this subscribe do. Let me close this. Let me see what the subscribe is doing. The subscribe is subscriber to already subscribe, create a new subscription, new common subscription, subscribe as push. So it's pushing this, is using subscribers. Then there must be something in the this inside command handler. Subscribe, unsubscribe, publish, command handler, publish. And here is searching for all the subscribers and is publishing it. Okay, which is fine. Who is calling this function? I will be very interested to know who is calling this function from the client side. Let me try publish in current project. Even if I know that publish is a bit of a stupid word, so we will find a million, but handle word message handler publish. I think it should be inside a chat. We don't want a message handler publish, we want a command handler publish. This is what we are searching for. Because I want to understand how the old client was working, so to mimic and make it as similar as possible. But if I search publish, there are so many. There are so many. Let me see maybe in the chat in the chat window. So if I go under the windowing system, the windowing system is here, but in reality is here. And there should be a chat window, no? No. It should be a chat window, where it is. Let me try to see if inside of this file there is a publish. Hello? What is okay? It's stuck. I don't know what it's doing, but it's completely stuck. There is a publish, but it's publishing to the message queue. Command handler. Okay, I think we are close. Okay, let's see. Send chat line. So he's doing a check if he's starting with a backslash, with a forward slash, and he understands it may be a command. Chat type, guild text. So this is if it's different from. Sorry, if it's different from. So there is the if different. So we don't care about that. We care about this. Okay, in case it's a logout, it's fine. And then it's going to publish in command handler. So it's just going to send text to send. Okay. No, sorry. Go back. Publish. Right, which is the function I was looking a second ago, right? So yes, it does the parsing in the chat window. He understands if there is a forward slash at the beginning, and if it is a forward slash, you consider it is a command. And then I just want to understand where it splits between the different subscribe. Well, I think it's here because based on the subscribers. Yes, based on the subscriber, you send it to one to the other. Okay, I understand. Handle commands. So basically, we have these handle commands. We should be in two places. In command users. Why we have it again here? Replay. Say tell NPC, repo guild alliance. Shout. It seems there are all the commands here again in the chat window. You see group, tell, auction, my pet, me, my. The only problem is that this handle command, okay, is one subscriber. So this function is checking only for those events. User command, this one is another one that is a subscriber, I'm pretty sure. Yes, in fact he's subscribing and unsubscribing, you know, to all of these things. I don't know if you should keep the same logic or change the logic. show window. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. This class we didn't import yet. Command users we did import. I don't even know if I want to port it actually, but we will see. Because I don't know which kind of. Well, actually, he has a lot of commands, but yeah, like a keep, keep, right, rotate, sell. But yeah, basically it looks like the chat window is sending out a specific command. This command is then going to subscribers. If it's player level commands, it goes to this class called command users. If it's GM level or administration commands, it goes to admin manager, right? That is the way it seems to work at the moment. There must be another one in manager then. There is a command admin. Holy shit. Okay. There is a command admin and a command user. So I don't know why we have this redirection, but it seems it's kind of needed. This is still under client. Okay. And the command is then sending it to command mess to admin command message. Okay. Why subscribing only those to those three? No idea. There are so many more. Command groups. Invite this band, group members. You see this? There is also this other one, which is command groups. I'm not really a fan of all these classes just created to split the commands into groups I mean, why we need this? Why we need to have command groups, command admin, command users, and then command guilds? We also have command guilds. It's probably just to split between the different files. No, I don't think so, because this one is anyway. What this thing is doing is like, okay, get my guild info. Guild common message. Guild common utils we have as well. Sorry, command util. Where are all these files? I don't remember. Are under client? Huh? Okay. Are under client. So common admin, common groups, common guild, common user, common util. So all these ones are just a way to split these commands into multiple files, like quit, echo, confirm, ping, screenshot, FPS. Like FPS makes sense, but for example, the who command. Okay, so I want to understand this who command because I'm starting to get interested. into this split. Come on. So is the who command anywhere in this command user? Ah, yes, it's inside command users. Okay. And the slash ban, because ban is definitely not a user command. Okay, apart from the stuff that is here, which is okay, is in command manager, is an admin manager, fine. Wow, long search. Slash ban admin UI. No, it's just telling the users no more occurrences. Okay, so it seems that for some reason the admin ones are only in admin manager. There is not a common admin. Well, actually there is a common admin, but a common admin is only considering a very small subset. A very small subset. So I don't know if I want to replicate this. I don't see any value in having all these command classes split. I don't see why really. You see there is a, like in admin there is only petition, deputize, and whatever is this one, I think is a test, but then all the other ones are so just thinking about it, but I don't think I want to have that. What we can have maybe, because who is checking for the security level? Who is checking for the security level? That's a good question. So for example, if I want to execute retrieve the common data factory for this command, security check, here it is. Security check, if client is resetting cache manager, give command manager to check access. Okay, so it's checking it. So I mean, can we make this more generic and, you know, instead of having only for admin command, having it for any commands? Because I mean, who is then? Really? Who is then doing? Let me double check again, okay? Because I think who is a good command. Okay, who unsubscribe is fine. Handle system message. Handle message containing the who content. Handle system message. I mean, no, I think this one is when we receive it. Yeah, it's when we receive the result. I'm not checking when we receive the result. I'm checking when. Okay. User command message is doing all of this. Splitting the word. Okay, this is fine. And then is doing what? Not sending it anymore. PS user command message entry. Yeah, but Still a bit confused on how this whole thing works. User manager, you see. So here we are calling send a list of players that are online to a client. So there is the who function that is sending back the list of people. Okay, fine. So and this one is inside user manager. How is this called? Okay, here is the mapping. Here is the mapping. But it's done differently from admin to user. So user is using this user manager and is using this technique to have a user command hash which takes the command and the corresponding function. While admin manager is not doing this. Admin manager is just having an if, something like that. No, we never find it in this mess. Current document. Yes, okay, these are fine, but there is also register factory function. It's using another way, which is this register factory. So it's registering the new command, and then is registering the fact that he has to call a specific class, and this class, yeah. So they are done differently. I don't know why, but maybe historical reasons, you know. So, but they are done completely differently. I still don't get exactly who is deciding. I think it's just this subscriber thing. So the two classes are both subscribed to the message. They receive the message and they understand if they have to parse it or not, based if it's in their list of items that they can parse. I think that's pretty much how it works. I'm not. Let's say hello, Tua. Welcome. I'm not 100% sure, but that is what I think he's doing. I think is what I think he's doing. But I would like to avoid redoing it, you know. So I think I would like to avoid doing something different. So if it already works somehow, right, then I would like to be sure that I'm calling the right function. So handle admin. So this one for sure is the entry point of this class. So handle admin command message is the entry point for all the administration commands. Is decoding the command here and it's finding the right class and is then doing all the work. Right? So if we go in and you see here, you see that it's doing all of this. So if we enter here, I think we are fine. Now the problem is if we want them to do a user command, I think we should call them both. My takeaway from this is that we should call them both because we don't know up front if it's a user command or if it's an admin command. So we can we can call admin manager to see if it's an admin command. I think that we should do this, and then here we should probably call user manager, which by the way we don't have yet, I think. I mean, we have user manager, but we don't have, I don't think we have a handle. Let me see. Do we have an handle command? Well, we have an handle admin command as well. And why we have a is then going to admin manager, so makes no difference. But do we have a handle user command? Yes, we do. So the only point is if this fails, so if for any reason the command we are passing through is not, is this giving an error message or a command not supported by the server? Okay, so we cannot really call these two functions, you know, unless we make these two functions a boolean, and then if one returns, yeah, anyway, the idea, I think the idea is to call these two functions, not use that crazy subscribe method anymore. So we will call, you know, user manager, which exists. I think user manager should exist in our PS Unreal. Do I have a user manager? Yes, user manager exists. So here will be user manager. No, I don't know why it's not. But there will be handle user command and whatever. Now, the only point is that we need to find out. I think it will be like this. I'm not 100% sure, but unfortunately, IntelliSense is parsing the solution, so come on. It's quicker to go by hand sometimes. I know, in this case, it's still the old way, still with a message entry. Okay, I mean, for now, we don't want to fix it now, but I think we can do it like this, and we will call handle user command later on, okay, which is fine. So from our blueprint now, okay, let's focus a second on the blueprints. Maybe before doing this, let me just do an update to be sure that no one checked in something. SVN update. No, okay, good. So so what I'm saying is that from the chat window, WinChat, we already have some code yes, handle command, there it is. Handle command, I don't know exactly who is calling this. Is a slash command. Yes, you see, we do a check to see if this starts with a slash, a forward slash. So if it starts with a forward slash, then we go into this handle command, right? And handle command, what is doing? Okay, is managing some of the basics like help. So everything that can be done client side, we do it. Okay, fine. And then what? And then we go default. We go here and we branch based on if it starts with PSP. I mean, who cares? And it starts with echo. I mean, who cares about this? So these are additional commands. Receive message. I'm not 100% sure of what is this. If it starts with PSP. I don't know what is this PSP, but PS print out. Echo seems to just print out, you know, the same message. So I mean, I think this block we can put into a comment and say /echo, which is fine to me. I don't know why we didn't do it the same way here, but okay. And it is an error. It is a /PSP. Now, if it's not equal to this, right, we should try to send it to our admin manager. So that is what I want to do now. So I want to call the function on Planeshift player controller. Right? So we want to have a function here which is executed server side. Yes, which is, so we add a new event, and this will be called request admin command on player controller, right? And this one will be server side and reliable. And as the only parameters, because we don't need many parameters, we just need the actual command. So this will be the command, because all the work is done then in the code, right? So we don't need to have it. And there is a string. So this will be receive /command. Why we call it admin? I think we should not call it admin. I think it's just request command. Yeah, let's call it just request command on PC, which is fine. So from our win chat, we want to get our player controller. I don't know if we have it already here. No, we don't. Okay, so if this is false, so it's not matching any of the one above, right? We want to get our player controller, and we want to cast it to Planeshift player controller, and we want, so this will go here, and this will be called server side to parse and execute the command, right? So this one, Planeshift player controller should do a request command on PC, which is the one we just created, right? And this one goes server side, and we put the command, should be this one, right? The text, yes. This one should go here. Okay. Now, will we have to do anything after this? No, because it will be all executed by the server. So this one is fine. I think because I didn't compile this yet. Right, okay. Yeah, I didn't compile PlaneShift player controller, so that function was not existing anymore. Was not existing yet. So in here we do request, maybe we rename it in the future, but request admin command message. Yes, this one. Request admin command message is the one that we have here, right? I don't know why we call it admin. I think it should just be request command message, by the way. But for now, let's leave it like this. We can refactor it later on. So the target is that and nothing else, and then the server will do the rest. So we just have to call the server. Okay, so at this point I think we are fine. We can try to test it. Out because we will arrive here and maybe we can debug it and see what happens. Okay, yeah, let's debug it. So let me close this and let me launch the server in debug mode. Now we have a breakpoint here. As soon as we issue a command which is not in the standard list, so for example /info, which is the first one we want to try, it will go through this method. And we have to see if it will crash or whatever it will do. I think the concept of connecting through a console on the server side of the machine, I don't think is so relevant anymore. I mean, it's nice to have, but I don't feel it's something that we really have to do. I think if you just connect with a standard client, it's fine. If for any reason the server is not answering anymore, you can just restart it maybe, and that's it. Because one of the advantages of having a console server side was that you could interact with the server even if the remote client couldn't connect, right? So, but okay, we launch the client and then we debug that function. Okay. So there should be up. I don't know why it's saying that the source code is different from the original version. Why? Why is saying this? Because we added one line and he's complaining about it? Could be. Okay, let me then remove the DLL because we need to debug it. So if it's not properly working, okay, we also need to stop the client. Okay. I need this to be up to date, fully up to date with the latest code because we want to debug it. There is one game of a tournament I would like to see, so maybe I will stop the stream for a bit, or I will watch it meanwhile I'm streaming. There is a StarCraft tournament running, and I wanted to see game between Stefano and Parting, and yeah, I want to see if Stefano wins or not. Should be a very good game. We may watch it together if you want, but I'm not sure I can restream something that another stream is streaming, so I probably not. I think it will be cut off by YouTube or Twitch. Okay, let me see if now now the breakpoint is okay. Okay, now the breakpoint is fine, so we can launch the client and see. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to drop one item to the ground, or anyway, we can use any item that is already dropped on the ground. I think there is one. I think an existing one is even better because it shows that we properly loaded the information at the server startup. Right, so let me just make this a bit bigger. So we want to, yeah, like select this one that is on the ground, this falcon on the ground, and then we want to issue a /info command, right? /info. Now my server should trigger. In fact, he actually triggered. You want me to let it go and see what happens? It will probably crash, but yeah, it crashed. I was not expecting it to work immediately. But okay, at least this /info is working. So the blueprint part up to the server side is okay. But then for some reason is crashing here. So let me see what it did. So it came through this. No, it came through what? Request and min command message. Okay, it came through this. Yes, it came through this one. And admin manager is null. No, why? We never initialized admin manager. Okay. Really? I think we never did it. I think we never did it. I think we never created an instance of admin manager anyway. So okay, there should be. There it is. To do new admin manager. Yeah, fine. Never did it. It's okay. I thought I did, but I didn't. So we have to create a new admin manager the same way PS server is doing this. So if we go under PS server, what is it here? In the initialization part, for sure is searching. Okay, there it is. It's doing nothing else than just initializing it like this. New admin manager, doing nothing else than that. Okay, fine. So easy enough. There is no initialization to call, nothing else. Okay, so it's very easy. So we just need to do admin manager equal to new admin manager, and that's it. Why doesn't like it? Probably I need to import admin manager here. Yes, I think so. Okay, so now we are actually creating a new instance of admin manager, properly. Delete the DLL, waiting the compile. The compile should go fine. Compile should go fine. Okay, build successful. I don't know why there is still this red mark here, but still is a bit slow in. Okay, so let's launch it. Deleted the DLL, so we need to recompile that piece. Hello, Spookino. Hello, whatever. Tyrite. Hello, welcome to the stream. You are asking if how old Planeshift is. Planeshift is pretty old. I started it when I was in high school, and it was a 2D version first, and then it became a 3D version later on. Around 2001, 2002, we restarted it in a 3D version, and then he went live. Let's say the first version is about 2004, 2005. I mean, those kind of years. But then it became a bit more popular later on. We added new functions, and we did, let's say, good stuff later on. And yeah, so I think it's about, I don't know, 15 years old or something, 20 years old. So something is happening in this code. So now we did new admin manager, and new admin manager is actually doing something, is initializing some stuff. Yeah, it's at least 10 years, 15 years. I mean, if you played it, your account may still be valid, you know. You should try, but we are not deleting accounts, unless people ask, but we are not deleting any of the accounts. So your account may still be there and may still be valid. So when we port the game to the new engine, you may be able to log in with the same character that you created 10 years ago. It's possible. We have people sometimes that come back and say, like, hey, I was 15 years old when I was playing your game. Now I am a father of 2 child, and this child have whatever 5 or 6 years each. So you're still here. Is it possible? Yeah, it's still us. Don't worry, still us. Yes, the same Planeshift is exactly the same one, just improved, modified. We have now intelligent monsters and AI and stuff, but it's the same project. It's still me. It's the same guy. It's some of the same team, not exactly the same team, but anyways, going through this, and when it's trying to do this new command admin factory, it's trying to register all these things. Okay, it's trying to register this, and then on one of them is actually breaking. Is breaking on this one, set stackable. Why is breaking only on this one? They should be all the same. They should be all identical, actually. It's trying to initialize this. It's trying to go inside admin command data target. Okay. Parse subcommand. Command list. Info on off reset elf. Okay. Mid position. Position 18. Next is completely fucked up. Next is invalid. Next equal to command list find, because it cannot, sometimes it doesn't find it. Okay, so if it doesn't find it, okay, because probably the old version of this, let me go and check. Final space. No problem. Have fun and see you soon. If you want to subscribe to the channel, we are also streaming in YouTube. So I know in YouTube all the videos are recorded. So if you want to see, just skim through them and see what I'm doing. You can, yeah, you can check it there. So bye for now. See you soon. So for some reason, I think that this command here is returning find first. Returns the first position of a character or -1 if not found. Okay, so this find here, what is doing? Search the string of something and return the index of the string. The problem is that if it's not found, what does it returns? It returns -1. Because I don't get exactly how this thing may not crash. Because this next, then is like next becomes -1. Can we have it as an int, please, instead of this side t, which is confusing me so much? Is this side t everywhere? Yeah, I think it's everywhere. Because in theory, this one should return -1, and then it should do between position, which is 18. Position and position minus. Yeah, the problem is that this will never work because this will be the last one to cut. It will try to cut between 18 and 17. So it will try to cut an impossible value. So I think we should do just an if. I mean, if next is -1, then we just don't cut it anymore. I mean, if it's not found, then you should just take the last chunk. So command equal, yeah, let's do this. Let's do if next. Okay, if next, you can do this. If it's not that, command is equal to. But it's through the command list is anyway. No, 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 no. In reality, it should go from the position to the end, right? From the position to the end. So it should go from this. Is mid taking a -1 or not? So it should go from position to nothing, to the end of the string, right? Okay, so I think this way will work better because it was crashing on. Okay, so it's fine. So let's just recompile it and start it again. Ah, I missed one of the games I wanted to see. Okay, it's fine. I think I will stop the stream soon. If we manage to get this info working, I think we can call it success, and yeah, we go from there. I can stop the stream and maybe we stream tomorrow. I want to see this tournament, so at least a piece of this tournament. I'm actually watching it, but on the other monitor, but um, without audio. What the hell? We're still in the same command list. Yes, we are. Did it generate the DLL? Yes, it did. Why is not working? So next is -1. So if next is -1, it should not go here, right? Okay, so let's do if next is different than -1. So maybe we'll work now. Think so. It should. It should, boys. Hello, boys. Okay. Compiling, compiling, compiling. Compiling, compiling, compiling. Compilation still takes a lot of time. Okay, it's running again. Let's see if it crashes again or not. It seems he went into an infinite loop. It's not doing anything. Okay. Yep, it definitely went into an infinite loop. Okay, let's pause it and see where is it. Is exactly here. So it's trying to search the next, starting from position. Position is 5. Why is restarting all the time? I don't understand. Because position is equal to next to 1. Now, I think when we do this, we should then exit. Otherwise, it would never finish. We should just break. Can you break from a 4 or 5? Yeah, I think you break from a 4, right? And this is the last. This will be the last command anyway. So because there are no more spaces, and so is the last command. Sometimes, yeah. So we enter into an infinite loop. It's pretty quick to compile now because we are changing very, very small pieces, and so it's not taking much. Okay, starting up. Fuck, we are still in a infinite loop. Come on. Why? Don't understand. What the hell is going on? Why is still in an infinite loop? I don't get it. Oh my god, stupid me. Why you're not watching me, guys? You are distracted, huh? I placed the brake in the wrong branch. I placed the brake in the wrong branch, boys. Come on. Look at what I'm doing. Suggest me when I'm doing mistakes. Yeah, I'm a bit distracted because I'm looking at the game on the other screen, so that's why. It's not my fault. Well, actually, it is. It's very quick anyway to compile, so it's fine. Okay, so now we should not have any more the infinite loop, hopefully. So admin manager should load properly. Let's see, maybe we have another bug though, because we never executed this code, so. Okay, admin manager is starting properly now, which is a good news. Now we launch the client and we try to do /info. Let's see what happens. And see what happens, boy. Do you think it will work? I think it will work. I mean, it may crash, but... Boom. Okay, so we select this and we do /info. Let's just... Yeah, it crashed. It actually crashed, boys. Okay, command data info. At least we are in the right spot. He's trying to get words of index. The only problem is that words has only info as a parameter, and he's trying to do words of 1, which is actually I mean, it cannot be words of 1. It must be words of 0. And that's the problem. Assertion failed. I'm just trying to understand which assertion failed. But Yeah, index greater than 0, index. Yeah, yeah. The problem is that we are starting from the wrong spot. So this one should be index of 0 now. Why is different from before? Good question. I mean, why the old code was working and now it's not? Probably because words was a words array. Yeah, that's why. Was word array? That's a bit of an issue. So it means that all our commands, holy moly, all our commands should start from 0 instead of 1. So it is everywhere. So all our commands should get the first word, which is actually starting from 0. Should I do a mass substitution of this? So everything that is sides the index 1, I just change it to sides the index 0. And fuck it. Or there is anything else that may break. It seems that he's always using the same technique. Yeah, but obviously the fact that we are changing 0 based with 1 based or vice versa, it's not really great. But yeah, I think we should do this. I think we should do it everywhere. In any command, so I'm just substituting it everywhere. One by one. Yes, but this substitution is very risky anyway. Because I'm not 100% sure, you know, that. But okay, we will test it and we'll see. These are all the millions commands that are in this file. Okay, finished. Okay, let's try like this. I think that now at least the info command works. I'm not sure if everything else will work, but info command will definitely be okay for the parameters. Also because info command is easy, it's only one parameter. I started already. No, maybe I can't start it. Okay, recompiling and seeing what happens. Okay. Seems recompiled and started. Client time. Client time. Let me see if any of you is typing something because I have another window. No, okay. Fine. Yeah, I want to reach the info command working. If we reach that, we can say that it was successful. The porting of admin manager was successful, at least for a piece. So let's see. Wow, it's night. And we didn't see what the function is. Okay, I see. I selected it, so let's go. /info is going there. Wow, it crashed again. Crashed again. Why? Get player client. Find player client. Parse target. This command is doing a lot of stuff actually. So min command data info, pass the first word for a target. So I think that now he got the right, you know, the right value. If word equal to help. Off bucket. In reality, it was not like this. I think I made a mistake. Because actually what this is help was trying to do was trying to get the second word, not the first one. Right? I don't know. Whatever. Then it's trying to parse the first word for a target. So again we have the issue that the first word is empty. No, sorry guys, I think I did a mistake. I think the 0 should become 1 again. And we just have to change the, yeah, absolutely. I think we have to change something else. Like this word of index. If word of index is empty, yeah, we should do. The only problem is that we have to do it everywhere. Because we should do something like this. We should do words num is greater than 1. You know? And so we should see if there is another parameter like /info help. Okay? And in that case, it will execute the help. But if it's not, yeah, so we need to change everything that is this, which I think is everywhere. Yeah, it's freaking everywhere. So whenever there is this, we have to change it with, whenever there is this thing, we have to change it with this thing. This mass substitution is a bit scary, but we're only 17. There's probably some command do not have help. It's very weird. Okay. Okay, anyway, this will go through. Then we have the same problem here though, because the second word doesn't exist. So our parse target will have to work. Okay, I know. We'll have to check that at least word.lan. This will crash. This will crash, boys. We need, because this will be null, you know, because we don't have a second parameter. The problem is that this thing was assuming that when you do word index, you get actually the proper. There is a problem everywhere in this code, everywhere. How do we fix this? Because actually the way it was in the old code was that we were using a specific object which was called word array, and word array, but I don't think I ported word array, right? I didn't port it that time. No, I didn't. So, and word array was having a kind of a safe management of this operator, right? Of the square bracket operator. So yep, I have to figure this out. Okay, guys, I think I will stop the stream for a bit. I don't know if I will stream later on, but I will solve this. I will solve this problem of the index, and we assume that our admin manager then will work. I will stop just because I want to see a tournament that is running now, and I want just to watch it. But I will continue meanwhile to do a bit of this. And so now anyway, you know where we are, right? So we completed the step 1, which was the hardest. So the mission admin manager compile is completed. We are now working on this info command, which is anyway validating the fact that admin manager can actually work properly. And what we found out is, for example, that we have this problem on the indexes, so that we have to fix somehow. I don't know how, but we will fix it. Okay, with that said, I thank you for now, and I will see you very soon. Tomorrow I will stream again, for sure. And anyway, even when I'm not streaming, be sure that I'm continuing to work and to improve the code, right? So we are proceeding. We can do this. See you, boys.